Dear students, welcome back. This is your lab instructor, Dr. Chai Huang, Professor of Physics. So in this recording, you're going to find essential, very important information about this lab course. So I want to pay attention to what I'm going to I'm going to discuss. So let me do a share screen. This one. Okay, so the first thing you do during the first week of the semester, this is what you need to do. You want to log on to Canvas and click on the course folder. And so once you go into the course folder, let me click on this. You'll find that the first page is the syllabus. So let me just spend a few minutes to go over the syllabus. And you'll find all the content information listed here. And also we have two sections for Physics 211. And also my office hour is also indicated on here. And the text, the lab manual, we're going to use, use this lab manual, Physics 211 lab manual. And you have, I already uploaded the electronic version. So you don't have to get it from the, you don't have to get a paper a hard copy. If you want, you can go to the bookstore to get a hard copy, but you'll find the electronic version in Canvas. And lab is the required part of the physics lecture course, so you have to enroll in one of the lab sessions in order to earn your physics lecture grade. And the lab is worth 20% of the lecture course grade. And the makeup policy, we do understand that sometimes you have things that you cannot attend the lab, but the expectation is that you would attend every lab period and complete the assignments. In the case that you cannot attend the lab, then you need to let me know in advance so I can make appropriate arrangements. And also, if you miss a lab without without a legitimate reason, you will be only allowed to make one makeup lab. Any additional lab will not be made up, and you will receive a 0 for the missed labs. Now, of course, there are exceptions. For example, you're sick or this kind of thing. Then with the prolonged conditions, then you need to contact me, and we can work out a feasible plan for you to complete the assignments and do the makeup. For late submissions, all late submissions are subject to 1% per day point deduction. And after 7 days, I will not accept any late submissions. And this is a tentative schedule. We're going to follow that very closely. So your first lab will start on August the 31st, okay? And it doesn't mean that, during the week of August 24th, you're not going to do anything. Quite on the contrary, you're going to, there are assignments that you have to do before coming to do a lab on August the 31st, okay? And that will be the same thing for other labs as well. So in other words, you have to do preparation a week in advance, and then you come to do the lab to take the data. And then, but we're going to go over that in more details later. So the weekly assignments, here it comes. Weekly lab assignments. So it consists of reading lab activity in the manual, and you want to watch the lab instruction recording. You're going to take a pre-lab quiz, and also that you're going to write up a post-lab report. You're going to take data in the lab, but then there's a quiz before and there's a report after. Okay, and you should watch that lab instruction recording and read the menu. Read the activity in the menu before you take the pre-lab quiz. And the pre-lab quiz is always due 11 p.m. The Sunday before the lab activity. So take, for example, our first lab is scheduled for August the 31st. So the lab quiz, you should take the lab quiz by August the 29th. And So and then again, there's a 7-day grace period. So if you forgot to take it, you can still complete the assignment before September the 5th. Okay, and so that way, just make sure that you take the lab quiz before you come to do the lab. That way you're well prepared. So the lab quiz are very simple. The lab quiz consists of different kinds of questions, like multiple choice questions, fill in the blank questions, true or false questions. The intent of the lab is for you to read the lab menu, watch the recording, and so that when you come to do the lab, you know what you're expected to do. Okay. So those questions will not be super difficult, but then it does provide the opportunity for you to review whether you after you watch the recording, after you read the lab activity, whether you retain the knowledge. Okay, and there's and then you're going to take the data in the lab. And so the data analysis, that should be completed during the lab period. And what should you include in your data analysis? You should have your raw data, and you should have your analyzed data, and you should have figures if those are required. You should have sample calculations, and also for the measurements, you should have sample calculation for percent error, and your data and figures should be in Excel spreadsheet. And you can either type or handwrite the sample calculation in a separate file, and everything will be in electronic form. So in other words, you can have a paper, with the data, and then you should take a picture of that, to be included in your report. Okay, but your data analysis and also the data should have me look at it, before. Doing the lab, so that I can verify that your data and also your results were correct. Okay. Now, regarding sample calculations are the calculations to show how you obtain your results. For example, we have the experiment is designed that we want to find the acceleration, and you have you're given the velocity v. You're given the you're given the initial velocity v, and then you are measuring instantaneous velocity as a function of time. So you have the v, you have the v naught, and you have the time, and so you should have the one line that has the equation, and then the next line with the known information, and then the third line showing what the result is. You might run the experiment 10 times. So in other words, you might have 10 data points. You only need to show one set. So in other words, you don't have to do all 10 calculations. You just need to pick one of them to show that those are the number given, and this is the result that you got. Okay. And then there's a post-lab report that's due 11 p.m. on Sunday following the lab activity. So for example, for your first lab, your lab report should be is due September the 5th, 11 p.m. And then you're given the grace period of 7 days. So if you forgot, or this is something that you can't submit it on time, the system will still allow you to submit your report by September the 12th. Okay. So, but again, there's a point deduction. So make sure that you complete your assignment as soon as possible, and just upload that to the system, to the Canvas. And here are a few things to pay attention to when you prepare your lab report. You can read this, and then if you have a question, of course, we can discuss your questions in the lab. But these are the things that that you need to pay attention to when you prepare your lab report. I'm not going to read it out loud. You should spend time and read them. And then I would, everything will be in electronic format. So your report, once you submit it, and I'll grade it in the system, and I will leave my comments. So this is where, to see my comments and to see where I deduct your points, why I deduct your points, then you would go through this steps. You go to the past assignments, click on the submission detail and view the feedbacks, and then that will bring up my feedback. And here's a short recording that shows you how, step by step instructions about how to find my feedback and annotations. And also, so I reserve the right to change any of the about information due to unforeseen reasons. And also, another important thing is that due to this, due to the circumstances here, everyone is required to wear a mask, and everyone, needs to practice, a good hygiene. So, in other words, yeah, so we want to minimize the close contact as much as possible. I know that during the lab it's kind of difficult, but we have the sanitizers in the room, and everyone is wearing a mask. And you just want to be mindful about, each other's, make sure that you don't, yeah, just make sure that we keep a good, good hygiene. Okay, and there are sanitizers you can use, even though we might have to touch the equipment and all that stuff, but just make sure that, as long as you don't touch your face, keep your hands free of your body, then that should be fine. All right, so there's a note to students with disability that you can read it, and also there's academic integrity and an educational equity and report bias, and also counseling, psychological services that you can read it. So, so your assignment during the week of 24th would be to, to familiar with your Canvas course folder. I know this is an in-person, face-to-face course, but there are a lot of stuff in our course folder. So you want to make sure that you are familiar with how to use this and navigate. And also read the syllabus. I would not provide hard copy syllabus. So this will be, you can always click on, go to the Canvas to find the syllabus. And so you want to make sure that you read through this and jot down any questions that you might have and ask during our lab, okay? And let me just take you, let me give you a tour of our course folder. So when you click on the course folder, the first page, entry page is the syllabus. And on this navigation bar, you see that modules. So modules is where you can find all the resource information, resources, and also the lab manual, and also the recordings. So let me click on this. And as you can see, I already made this available to you, how to use a learning caliper. This is, this will be pertaining to the first lab. And for each lab, there's going to be a recording. So this is just the information recording, okay? And so this is not lab one. When it's time for lab one recording to be published, I'll let you know. And also, I want you to click on this. This is lab checklist. So in other words, if you, some students, they're wondering how to prepare a lab report, a proper lab report, and these are the checklist, about what's to be included in the data analysis and also the reports. So you want to take a look and make sure that you follow this, this guidelines. And then let me see. So this one, lab manual journal information, it shows you the the cover page. If you want, you can click on it to take a look. But and also the lab policy. But there are several files that you need to click on to have a further look. For example, the lab report format. So let me click on that. And this is basically what you should have in your lab report. You should have a cover page. And the cover page should have the section number on this at this location, and you should have the title of the experiment, the date of the experiment, not the date when you write the report, and you should have your the first author's name followed by the group members. And the lab reports will be a group effort, and I want each person to have to take turns writing the report. So in other words, if you have a group of two, person A will write the first report, person B will write the second report, and your third report, and then you'll take turns, and then the third report will be written by person A. So in other words, the first author's name should not always be the same person. I want everyone to take turns writing, writing the report. Now, it doesn't mean that when person A is writing report 1, lab 1, then person B doesn't do anything. Quite on the contrary, when person A is writing a report, the group member should provide feedbacks, suggestions, comments to make sure that you are presenting the quality report. And I know that a lot of you would use the editing I can't remember the name, but you don't, when you submit a report, make sure that all the edited comments should be removed, all the edited functions should be removed, so that when you submit the report, it is a report, not with the comments, with suggestions and questions. Okay, and and so you should have your cover page, and then the abstract should be 4 lines. So the more requirements, what should be included in the abstract is actually can be found in the checklist. And the raw data sheet and data analysis, as I mentioned in the syllabus, I briefly mentioned what should be included in the data analysis. And then you should have your conclusion, and your conclusion should at least also be 4 lines long. But let me just say that, when you write your abstract is something to talk about what this experiment is about, what are your expectations, what your results are. So your abstract should really, have the value that you obtain with the percent error. That should be included in your abstract, and also that should also be included again in the conclusion, but from a different perspective. And that is, you already completed the experiment. How would you compare your results with the expectation value, and what could be the possible error sources? That should be discussed in the conclusion. Do not include the lab procedures in the abstract, because that really should be, the procedures is just the procedure for you to gather data. So it should not be included in the abstract. Okay. All right. So this is the physics lab report format, and let me just go through the next one, the sample report. So this is just basically, based on what so you have, this is just a sample report, and like this is the activity, the name of the experiment, the day when the data was taken, and the group member's name and the abstract, and with the you can see that with the percent error, with the value that are measured, obtained. And then you have the data sheet, so again, everything, you might have it in paper form, but you just want to take a clear pictures of your work. Make sure that you make take a clear picture, okay? Or you use a snipping tool if you have it in the electronic form. And so these are the data, and then when I say signature, whether in paper form or verbally, when I check your work, and then maybe we'll work it out in the lab if you have an electronic format. And then this the analyzed data. Usually we will use Excel to analyze data, and then you have your figures. You should have figures should be well labeled. You have the title, and the title usually will be can be found. The suggested title can usually be found in the lab manual. And then you have the label, the axis with the appropriate units, and then you have and then this is the graph, and then you have the line fit equation. Make sure that line fit equations is well displayed, does not overlap with the data points or the lines. And then you should have the figure captions. Figure captions are just a few like 1 or 2 sentences to describe what this figure is about. You do not include the information that's readily obtained by just looking at this figure. For example, you don't say that this is force versus length. I already know that because this is what the figure is, that shows, right? So you want to go extra mile, additional, provide further information than just what you can obtain just by looking at this figure. So in other words, what exactly is the figure caption? Figure caption is just a sentence that you communicate with the person who is looking at this figure, and then obtain the essential information. Okay, and this, like the X and Y axis are already given the information, so you don't have to repeat that. And also, I don't want you to have the title to say that the force versus length. I already know that this is force versus length, so you need to have a better title than then you know, like this is x, this is y over versus x. Okay, and analysis, you should have the equation again. For this one, because there's really not much, there's not the equation to use, so that's why there's no equation form. But I do want you to have the 3 lines, follow the 3-line guidelines, the equations, the numbers that you have, and the results. Okay, and the percent error. Okay, that you should have the you should have the in this form, but also the equations as well. All right, and then conclusion. Okay, so this is just the makeup, a markup report. Let me just show you another example that is from the students report. All right, so the students, so this is from the student, from one of the from previous students. So you can see that it provides the essential informations here, appropriate informations, and the abstract, and the data, and this is the raw data sheet, raw data, and let me see, let me just go over, continue on, and then you have the equation. So you have the figure. So this is a so this, so you have the title here, and again, as I mentioned, the title should be more, should be better than just position versus time. And then you have the graph here, and then you have the figure captioned, and then you have the another figure, and another figure. And then you have the equations. So again, break it into 3 lines. You have the equations and the numbers that you have, and the data and the result that you have. And then you have another example is A is G sum theta, and A is that, and then what is your A? Okay, and also the percent error expressed in that form. And then you have your conclusion. Okay, so that's basically how you will write up your reports. And let me just, so this is the essential information from the journal information. And then the next, subfolder, that is activity. So that is, let's say lab 1 is doing measurement and errors. So you want to click on this, and that will bring up the activity. So you want to read this. This is the file that you want to read before you take the lab quiz. This provides all the essential, informations about what what you're going to do during this lab. Okay, so read that before you take the lab quiz, and then there is a recording. So when they are available, I will they will be released. I will publish that. You want to click on the the link, and that will and then watch the recording. And the lab data. So I know that we're going to have a face-to-face in-person instructions, but there are times that data will be provided. Then this is the folder where you can click on the file to get the data. Okay, and also I just want to mention that the recording was done before. So and that was primarily for the virtual lab, Zoom, in other words, those recording may not be suitable for the in-person, but the whole idea is still the same, because the lab activity remains the same. The only difference is that one is in the past, the data during the pandemic, the data was given to the students, and so in this in this in-person instruction, the lab procedure, the activity remains the same, and then you're just going to take the data in the lab. Okay, so when you watch the recording, you might have questions about, okay, when should I use the data that given? Where are they? No, you're not going to are not going to provide the data unless unless there are situations that I have to provide the data. Instead, you're going to take the data in the lab, and then work from there. Okay. All right, but the essential, the main concept or procedures described in the recording remains the same. Okay. All right. So where do you where can you find the quiz and where to submit the report? So let me click on the assignments. And when they are ready, they will be published, so you'll be visible to you. But right now, it is not visible to you. So the your lab one, that's measurement errors, and so each lab quiz I will give you 10 minutes. So it is a time quiz. I will give you 10 minutes to complete the lab quiz. So make sure that you read the lab activity and watch the recording before you're ready to take the lab quiz. And you click on that, and then it worth 5 points. There are 5 questions, and then worth each worth 1 point. And then and so you just when you're ready to take it, just click on the quiz, and you should be able to take it. And then the report you want to prepare your report in electronic format, and then save it as a PDF file. And then once you have the PDF file, and then you click on that and you click submit, and then you'll be enter in the system. Okay, so that's basically what you need to know. Then of course, I'm sure that you will have questions. We can discuss your question either in the email, or you can we can discuss your question in the lab. Okay, so in other words, in this semester, we're going to have a lot of stuff you have to get prepared. You have to come prepared before you take before you come to do the lab, and everything will most likely in electronic formats. And other than that, I think we'll be fine. So I think if you have a question, again, send me an email, or just wait until we meet on August the 31st. And regarding lab 1 activity, assignments, I would just give me a few days, and I will send out later. Okay. All right. So I hope to see you. I look forward to see you on August the 31st. Okay. In the meantime, have fun. Enjoy the rest of the summer. All right.